From the St. James Civic Center at CBC Curling Classic, as the world's top curlers compete for over $35,000 in prize money.
Well, there should be about $2,000 here, $2,100 bills, and that's what's at stake in this afternoon's game on CBC Curling Classic. Bernie Sparks of Vancouver taking on Bruce Roberts of Hibbing, Minnesota. Roberts already has $7,000 in his pocket, thanks to $6,000 from the A side, plus his $1,000 on the B. Bernie has $2,000, $1,000 from the A, $1,000 from the B. He could double it this afternoon if he could walk off with this money. I'm Doug Maxwell, Don Chevrier, and Don Duguid here to bring you all the excitement and the action on this afternoon's CBC Curling Classic.
All right, Doug and Don, we keep saying week after week, who's going to knock off Bruce Roberts? No one has so far, but Bernie Sparks has got a fine team. He's got as good a chance as anyone.
Well, I would think Bernie, of all the teams, has as good a chance of beating Roberts, but he's going to have to really curl.
He will, because the Roberts rink has really curled very well in terms of percentages. There you see their percentages for the first 4 games. Note the third, Joe Roberts, into the high 80s. Bruce Roberts got into the 90s on one occasion. They have been just that sharp, this team from Hibbing, Minnesota, reigning world curling champions. And with the toss won by Roberts, he's gone out, he's blanked the first 2 ends, so he means business today as well.
Well, he's not going to gamble too early with a fellow of Sparks' caliber, so he's going to take his time, read the ice, and when he has last rock, do a little bit of gambling.
You've seen Bernie Sparks hook up in a 3-2 game with Jim Ursel earlier in our series. This one could be a low-scoring affair, too, with the first 2 ends already blanked by Bruce Roberts. We're about to begin the 3rd end now. Roberts, of course, retaining last rock into it. And the lead for Bernie Sparks is Kevin Bowery. He'll be starting things off.
No, I think this will be Bruce Roberts' biggest test, because the Sparks teams have been curling very, very well. You know, and they play a similar type of game, and it's just going to be a matter of who makes the critical shots. And it's going to be an interesting matchup. Sparks has been around a long time. Bruce Roberts has been around a long time. It's just going to be interesting to see who can make those pressure shots.
That rock's over a little bit, but Bruce is not going to buy it. He's not going to use that rock. He wants it removed. I thought perhaps having blanked the end, he might jump on a chance like that to curl in behind, but maybe it's a bit too early at the end. Well, the corner guard on that side, he could think about that in a while if this one sticks around. Depends what Bernie does now, whether he chooses to really garbage it up, and it appears he will.
The interesting thing, there is no set pattern to the way Bruce Roberts plays. Some days he'll just play the straight takeout game. Other days he'll play the garbage game. You know, he mixes it up. And maybe that's why he has the edge in all his opposing teams. They don't know what kind of a game he's going to play.
And he'll switch his strategy just like that. In one shot, he'll change the whole thing around. I think when you talk about a competitive curler, you're talking about Bruce Roberts. He is so finely tuned and keyed to competition and so intense about it.
Oh, he is really intense, and the power of concentration, you know, and he goes out there and he wants to beat you 15-1. You hear of killer instinct. Well, he's got it, and I think that's the reason he's had so much success. And his whole team is like that.
This one taken out the front by Scott. I think he told you after the World Championship, the apex of his career, he just won it. He said, congratulations. I think he said something like, we have to sharpen up next year. We got to get tougher.
Well, that's true, you know, and he's looking at it realistically. He knows that he's the world champion. Next year, everybody will be gunning for him, and he's going to have to curl that much better. You know, the teams that he might have beat fairly easy that year are going to be that much tougher.
Here's Alan Cook as Bernie Sparks and company go gunning for Bruce Roberts right now with prize money on the line here. And survival again for all these teams. It means knockout, except for Bruce, of course, who's won the A side. So Bernie has to stay alive by winning today, and he's got a fine rock coming into the 4-foot. It'll grab a piece of the bucket. Alan Cook.
And Alan's shaking his head. He's not too happy with that rock going into the house. And the reason being is that Bruce Roberts can now hit that one and roll in behind the corner guard.
It's going to force Bruce, perhaps, with the roll into doing what we talked about earlier, what he might have chosen to do with the lead rocks, and that is go right in behind those corner guys. They wind up that way now as Gary Kluffman's first rock is underway. He wants to cross over the face of this rock now and get a roll toward the inside, and it's going to stay pretty much where it was. Well, here again now, Bernie might be able to get a roll. as he has Cook come down with the outturn takeout.
You'll see he tapped the inside of that rock, and that means he wants Cook maybe to hit a little bit on the inside and roll behind that guy. When they yelled right away, Cook might have turned that in.
Well, he wants a roll, but this is going to be a little extreme. Roberts squirts it out the back door, out the side, and so we have nothing on the rings again, just that rock out in front.
And now I would think that Bruce Roberts is going to go in behind that corner guard.
Yes, he's cut the ice down. That's what he's going to do. Gary Cleffman's second rock.
Good view on our handheld camera, Don, just how low Cleffman gets to the ice. Well, he's got a good-looking rock here.
Nice line. If it has enough weight, curl a bit more and travel down toward the 8-foot, it'll be almost a perfect go, and it is. He's up in the 8-foot undercover. Bernie Sparks has got some thinking to do now. He played defensive, run off the front as you try to get in there, try to get a corner of it. He can see maybe an eighth of the rock.
And Bernie's playing this very tight, and I think he's saying to Bert, you don't get the shot rock, at least take off that front one.
Bert Gretzinger is third.
Well, they're going to have to go on this one. Oh, he's very close to that guard, Don. I don't think he's going to get by it.
He does. He's got a great shot. Oh, he just touched it. Look at that. Just touched the guard. Very, very close to coming down and chipping out the shot rock was Bert Gretzinger. And here's where Roberts will go for the throat now. He's got the break, got a miss out of the Bernie Sparks team. He'll start putting rocks into that house.
Oh, that was hard luck by Gretzinger, because if he gets by, he just about hits that rock on the nose, and now he's behind the guard. You know, and a shot like that can not only turn the end around, but could be very decisive in what happens for the whole game.
Very slow, deliberate delivery by young Joe Roberts at third. He's drawing across to the other side of the house. Roberts, remember, has blanked a couple of ends to get this far. We have no score in the game here in the third end. And Roberts starts to pounce now. He's lying two. Bernie had that chance to get in behind with a roll on a takeout. He missed it. Roberts got in there. Now Bernie's going to play on the other stone, the open one, the easier hit for Bert Gretzinger.
Of course, he doesn't want to gamble and have the same thing happen to Bert again, that he just nudges the guard, then he's looking at a three-ender being scored on him. He's going to play the open hit, hoping maybe that Roberts rolls out and he gets a chance at that other one behind the guard.
Good on the outside. It's got to curl a little bit for him to get a roll. Now it starts to cut sharply. Very quiet weight there. He just had enough to get it out, but he rolls the shot. I think Bert meant to throw it that softly.
Oh, I think so. He just had back ring weight. I think he wanted bumper weight, because that rock started to cut at the end. Got to be very careful out there, though, Don. You can't overthrow it. If you overthrow it, it has a tendency to back off.
Joe's throwing a bit more weight at this one now. It starts to cut just at the hog line. See it take off now. They have to pound to hold the line on this. He's playing it softly as well, just to tick it out. Look at the roll he gets here. He rolls to the back, the second shot in behind that cover.
Well, I think Joe was a little bit fortunate there. I don't think he intended to throw that quiet weight, but it really worked out for him, because he just cut a corner of the rock and rolled in behind cover.
He threw only a shade more than Gretzinger. It looked to be heavier going down the ice, and slowed down to the hog line and began to really curl on him. So here's Bernie Sparks now with his first. Bernie with a delicate shot around that front guard. He could see part of the shot rock. Way they go on it. He gets it by. He's in good shape. He's by. Onto that rock. Fine tap out by Bernie Sparks on a shot rock under cover. Close between those two as to which one is shot now.
Well, we'll know in a minute exactly what shot Roberts calls. It looks like he's going to play the hit on that red one, so that red one could be shot.
Or else he's just concerned that he'd better move it, or Bernie will tap it up and bury one for solid shot rock.
No, he's playing the draw. He is shot rock. He's got to start moving over there. He wants it as far over as he can. On the edge of the 8-foot. Bruce yelling high. He means he wants it in front of that tee line.
That's where it stops. Little bite on the 4-foot. Bernie, of course, has to play on it. He would dearly love a roll here. That's about his only way to get out of this end.
He's going with the outturn, the one that stays very straight and then really cuts at the end. So he's going to have to make sure that he has carry-through weight. Like, he doesn't want to underthrow it or overthrow it. He wants to make sure just enough to keep it straight and bend a little bit at the end.
It's a tough shot. If he overthrows, it'll hang out. If he underthrows, it'll cut in. He's got a bit more weight than Gretzinger and Roberts have, but they have to pound it now to hold that line. Starts to cut. They get off it. Look at the roll Bernie Sparks has. He's over to the 4-foot. He's behind protection, and he's lying shot right. That's the best possible result from that shot by Bernie.
Just a great shot. Just a great roll. You know, that's fine execution by Bernie Sparks, and it may get him out of this end.
Roberts now has blanked 2 ends to get this far, and he's got a tough shot.
You can only see about an inch of that, Joel. Yeah. A little more yet. Play the whole 4-foot. Some more.
Really widen that broom. He's going to play a draw. He's just drawing to the 4-foot for 1.
I think he feels that if he's just going to play the straight draw, and if he's got enough weight and starts to cut over there where it does, that Joe's going to have to be on the alert. Maybe if he's just got enough weight to tap it back. He doesn't have to tap it back too far, maybe to get 2. But I would suspect that he's just playing the pole draw. He's got a lot of weight. He's got a long way to come.
Come on.
Now it's starting to move. Now he yells, come on.
Now he stops them. That rock is still sliding. It's pretty keen down center. If it digs in, he's got a point, but it's sliding a bit too far. So Bernie Sparks got a fine roll and is able to steal the end against Bruce Roberts, who blanked 2. Sparks leads 1-0 now.
Bernie, it's only 1 point on the scoreboard, but psychologically that has to be a big lift for you. 2 great shots that you made there. You steal the end.
We were pretty lucky in that end. He had us going right from the first part of the end, and you're lucky to get on an end like that.
Yeah, but a skill comes into it, too. You made a great hit to get around that guard, and then a fine roll with your last one, putting it right to Bruce, forcing him.
Yeah, it's, as I say, we're pretty fortunate to get out of that end. I still thought he'd get the 2. I kind of thought he'd go after it and try for his 2 points, but they just maybe overswept his last rock a little bit.
See what happens on the next end after this message.
We know how you feel about too much credit because we're a consumer finance company. But in 4 short years, we have become one of the largest consumer finance companies in Canada, all because of how we treat people. The way we look at it, lending you money to pay off your debts and reduce your payments to something you can afford isn't bad risk. It's good sense. You're number 1 at AVCO.
This is the intensive care unit at the Health Sciences Center, one of the many accomplishments of the University of Manitoba's Faculty of Medicine. To help celebrate the 100th anniversary of the university, CBC Winnipeg presents on Monday, February 28th at 7:30 p.m., a portrait of the achievements of the Faculty of Medicine. Join Alice Poyser for this special half hour on Monday, February 28th at 7:30 p.m., right here on Channel 6, Cable 2, CBC Television in Winnipeg.
Adrian Clarkson. Whether I'm narrating a piece of film or catching a plane to follow up a story, it's part of my job on the Fifth Estate. And when it goes on air, I want to be able to make eye contact with the audience, to make Canadians visible to themselves and the world.
The Fifth Estate, Tuesdays at 9:30.
A CBC special.
The Canadian prairies, breadbasket to the world. That's the image, but what's the reality? Much of the grain handling and transportation system is a relic from another age. And while Canada continues to lose its share of world markets, the industry is locked in a bitter fight about what direction to take. Watch What Breadbasket?
Tomorrow night at 10:30 in Newfoundland on CBC.
An all-star again to be selected today, and $100 going to the recipient. The Bruce Roberts rank so far in our CBC Classic has seen each member win an all-star award at least once, and that tells you something about how they're playing.
Well, that's right. No one man is playing poorly. They're all playing so well, you know, that they deserve the all-star nominations.
In one case, Bruce the skip and Joe the third share the award. The front end, they won one outright as well. All right, back to the action now. We go to the 4th end of play. Bernie Sparks got that important steal. He's ahead 1-0. And Roberts is last rock here in the fourth. Skip rock's being played. Roberts, it appears, is a little biter there at the top of the 4-foot. Tempting enough for Bernie Sparks to go after. The top of the 12-footer.
Well, the yelled roll right away. I think maybe Bernie Sparks might have thrown that one a bit out. Now it's starting to move. Oh, they might have left it too long.
It's fairly quiet, Don, and again it cuts. As we saw at the opposite end, they will really hook in there at the end. He's left that potential biter on the rings. I think it is biting.
Well, I think he threw it a little bit out wide, and of course the sweepers never put any broom to it, and then it started to take off, and by that time it was too late. And that's why it's so important for sweepers, just even to keep the path clear. Just keep sweeping just lightly. Because once they go, they're gone. Bruce Roberts wants to maintain the advantage in this end with that miss. He likes to get this one in here.
That's an example right there. Oh, they never left that rock, Don. They were there to dust it, sweep it, just to keep it clean on the way down, and he gets to the back of the 8-foot ring.
Well, the thing I notice about the Roberts team that they're all in the game. They sweep every rock, they watch every rock. They're in the game all the way, from lead right through to skip.
Bernie Sparks, his last rock, hitting against 2, possibly 2. We're not sure about that one front rock. It appears to be on.
Staying with him. Now it's starting to cut. Now they jump on it right away.
And virtually no roll. He tucks it inside a little bit. Look at Bruce mark the ice and head down. He's wasting no time. He can hit for a possible 2 here.
Of course, the beauty of this shot for Bruce Roberts is the fact that Sparks has just thrown it with fairly good weight. So he's taken about 8 inches of ice, and I would think that maybe he'll play about the same weight as Sparks, maybe just a little bit less. See Bruce yelling, whoa. He's well out there. It'll start curling at the end, so the sweepers are staying with it. Oh, not too much broom laid on it.
Here it comes. He's got enough of the rock to hold it. It's going to roll back of the 4-foot. He's got one for sure, and they'll look at the front one now. I don't think Sparks is too willing to concede a second point. It's worth a measurement, so Ray Turnbull swings into action here as our umpire. With the measuring device, the biter measure out. Yes, he said it's good. So Bruce got 2 and leads 2-1 now. Here in the 5th inning, we're down to skip rocks again. 4 rocks to be played. Last rock is Bernie Sparks. He's line 1 right now. Second shot is Roberts in behind.
Bruce Roberts is playing that front one, and I think he just wants a little bit of a roll in front of the other 2 so that it'll make Bernie's shot that much more difficult to drive it by. Well, he's well out there.
Just eases out the 1 and leaves that almost frozen shot of Bernie's in there as shot rocks. So they trade rocks. Bernie Sparks could get his 2 back right here.
And Bernie's just going to play the out-turn draw. He'd like it full in the 8-foot, just about the tee line. He doesn't want to leave it too high in front of the tee line. Give Bruce Roberts a chance to hit and maybe roll over this other 2. Bert Gretzinger saying, stay close, stay close. Bauer and Cook are watching. Now it's starting to dig in. Boy, they're going to have to go.
That rock grabbed something, Don. It was sliding pretty well, and they're going to look. They're not exactly sure which of the 2 is second shot, the white at the back or the one Bernie just played. But Bruce, of course, is tempted by this now. He can't afford to leave it, or he could come back to the other one. Now he's going to play the hit on this one that Bernie just laid down.
Well, if he hits that other one on the right-hand side, there's a chance he may drive it on his own, and then Sparks would end up getting 3. And this is why he's hitting what might be second shot. Might be third shot, but he's not taking any chances. He's going to hit the open one. He could roll over in front of those other 2.
His roll is going to be in that direction, but not nearly far enough. Did they get it up for shot? Yes, they did. He's got shot rock, but it's in the open for Bernie Sparks now with an opportunity to pick up a pair and get back into this game.
Well, Bernie's got to be careful, He doesn't want to hit it too much on the outside, or he might roll away and only end up getting 1. And then again, he can't cut too far across the face of it, or he may drive it on his own at the back.
He can regain the lead by hitting and sticking.
Well, they yelled right away. Oh, and Bauer and Cook are really pounding this one. Now it's staying straight. Oh, now it's starting to come across. He's got a good-looking shot.
Can't roll too far, though. Wow, that's close. Very close in there. Bernie with the 1. They look at that second one. It appears as though he got it. Yes, he got the 2 points to go in front 3-2, but it was a little close for comfort, that roll that Bernie Sparks got.
It was. He had to be very, very careful on that. If he rolls, maybe another inch, he only ends up getting 1.
That's right. Well, he's ahead by a score of 3-2 now. The 6th end has been blanked by Bruce Roberts. He had that backfire on him before when Bernie stole after he blanked a couple of ends early in this game. He blanked the 1st and 2nd. So we go to the 7th end now. Bernie Sparks is lying 1. Bruce has got a chance to blank here again. You see the wide ice Joe is giving him for a takeout. He wants to hit this on the outside and roll out and blank end 7.
Of course, Bernie Sparks, on the other hand, would like Bruce to hit this right on the nose, force him to take 1. That rock is a long way out. Now it's starting to move across. You hear Joe yelling, hurry. He wants to hit it on the outside and roll out.
It's going to roll. Joe starts to go to work on it, but that rock is slowing and is going to stop at the 12-foot. So Roberts tried to blank, takes 1, and he's tied after 7 ends. Roberts is a master at putting pressure on his opponent, and very few rinks have had a chance to put that much pressure on him. Here's Bernie Sparks in the 8th end now, looking at 2 Bruce Roberts shots, and Bernie is going to ignore the hit. He's going to play the draw. That's always treacherous.
Oh, this is a critical draw for Sparks. Playing 8th end, he can't afford to miss. So they're just keeping it clean. It looks like he's got good weight. You just want to keep it clean. Now they're starting to bend it a bit more. Now it's working over. He's got a good-looking shot.
Coming up toward the Roberts rock, but it stops cold. A good 4-foot draw for Bernie Sparks against 2. And a very important pickup for him to put him in front after 8, 4-3. Now in the 9th end, they're down to skip rocks again. Roberts with last rock is lying 1. Bernie's going to play the out-turn hit. Now remember, this is a tricky spot on the ice. The weight has to be just right here. If it's under, it'll curl. If it's over, it'll hang out.
And that's a disadvantage of favoring one turn more than the other. The one turn that you throw, it might be a treacherous spot on the ice to throw on. So it makes your job that much tougher. Boy, they're going to have to go on this one. It's starting to snap across. Oh, is he going to get it? He's going to be very close to missing it.
There it goes. He touched it, just touched it, left it there. Still in that very, very difficult spot to hit. Bernie Sparks.
Well, that's 2 wide open misses for Bernie this game, and you'll very, very seldom see that. He's exceptionally good at hitting rocks.
Roberts drawing for 2 now. He has last rock still to come. There'll be a rock for each man after this stone is brought to a halt. He's got some backing there in case he's a little bit heavy at the back of the 12-foot, but it digs in. They'll try to sweep it back, but no go. Bruce Roberts lying 2. Bernie has to look at that tricky takeout again.
Well, that was the beautiful part of Bruce Roberts going so deep, that he's going to force Bernie over to that side of the sheet that really he doesn't want to play because it's so tricky over there.
I think he's taking just a touch more ice, and I would assume will play a little more weight to hold the line.
He'll throw firm weight, but he doesn't want to throw too hard. He yelled right away. Now it's starting to belly out a bit. Oh, he's got a good-looking shot. He's going to hit it pretty well on the nose.
Rolls in. That's the way he wanted to play the first rock. He gets back at the 4-foot range. Oh, it's open for Bruce Roberts. That swing problem exists at this area of the ice as well, by the way. So it is no cinch shot for Bruce coming up.
Right. This is a big, big shot for Bruce Roberts. He wants to get the 2 here to maintain the advantage. He doesn't want to roll out. If he rolls out, then the advantage would have to go to Bernie Sparks.
That's right. If he gets just 1, they are tied, and Bernie would have last rock coming home. This is a very big takeout for Bruce Roberts. Playing just medium weight, waiting for that rock to curl. They know it well. It comes in now, hits and rolls. They try to get it out, but no, Bruce stays. So Bruce Roberts gets an important pair in the 9th. He leads 5-4 coming home. We'll have the 10th end for you right after this pause.
5 years ago, I was the only one I knew using Grecian formula to keep the gray out of my hair. But now there are millions. If you're trying to decide about using Grecian, listen to a few of them.
The change was so gradual and looked so natural, no one ever noticed.
My hair turned the same medium brown it used to be.
It's as easy to use as water.
I left a little gray on the sides.
My hair is back to the sandy color it used to be.
Grecian formula, used by over 2 million men. I'll bet a lot of your friends are using Grecian and you don't even know it.
CBC, Sunday. An old Indian woman has lived 1,000 moons.
There's plenty of fish and some game.
Old shacks.
Lots of beautiful
Old people
blue skies.
weak to pick up berries.
Green
no
grass.
doctors, no
Lots of fresh
hospitals.
air, all sorts of
I don't
things.
want to hear about that place.
Well, she certainly doesn't want to die here.
Her last request to return to her birthplace to die in peace among the spirits of her ancestors. Watch 1,000 Moons on For the Record.
Tomorrow night at 9:30 in Newfoundland on CBC.
CBC, Tuesday. It's comedy on King of Kensington.
That's my letter, Ma. Come on, it's private. You got no right reading somebody else's mail.
I never liked him anyway.
Yeah, listen, will you send me over Vesuvius Deluxe, huh? A double sausage, double pepperoni, and double cheese. Good. Hey, listen, Tony, send me a tab, eh? I'm on a diet.
Watch the fun on King of Kensington, Tuesday night at 8:30 on CBC.
Close game between Bernie Sparks and Bruce Roberts. Roberts has already won the A side, as you know. He's got $7,000 in hand, and if he can go all the way, including this game today, he could wind up with the maximum of $19,000. But equally important, perhaps, is the fact that Roberts, having won the Silver Broom last year in Duluth, could be at the Silver Broom in Karlstad in a few weeks' time, courtesy of Air Canada, because that's an additional prize that goes along with the Bonspiel this year. An all-expense-paid trip for two for each member of the winning rink in the CBC Curling Classic. They'll be in Karlstad as our guests and Air Canada's guests at the end of March.
Fine trip, fine prize, and a lot of prize money at stake here in the CBC Curling Classic. And you know that, too, that Bruce Roberts got is so vital in the ninth end on, because he does not have last rock, but at least he's got that edge of 1 point.
Well, it's vital, but I would imagine Bernie Sparks is going to put all the stops down and try to get more than one with last rock.
It could be an exciting finish to this game as we head now to the beginning of the 10th end. Leading off for Bruce Roberts is his lead, Scott. And Bruce is not resigned to, but prepared to allow Bernie Sparks one. And he's going to start the end with that thought in mind by playing it through. Bernie, whatever he puts down, the Roberts rink will be gunning for to take off. And if it comes down to a draw for Bernie for one, then Bruce would have last rock in the extra end.
Well, this is just how much confidence he plays with, Don. He's throwing this rock through, and he feels his team can make 7 straight hits, or 7 peel-off of guards. So that's how much confidence he plays with. He knows that he's going to go into an extra end. He's going to throw it through and let Sparks do all the gambling.
Yes, he'd be gambling if he put rocks out in front to try to steal the end and win it by a couple of points or 3, because then it could backfire, and Bernie could use those front rocks to get a couple and win it right here.
Well, there's 2 schools of thought. You either throw it through, or if you're going to put it in the house, you put it right on the button if you can, and right on the center.
Bauer is coming down with a corner guard. That's the kind of situation Bernie wants to build off to the side, but well enough onto the sheet to be able to curl behind to about the 8 foot and get a second point buried.
Well, the reasoning behind that, of course, Don, is he's hoping Roberts hits it on the nose and he'll draw around on the corner of the sheet. And if it doesn't work out for him, it ends up that Roberts gets 2 in behind that guard, then he's got the full house to draw to with his last rock to tie the game. But he's going to gamble right from the opening rock.
Man. Oh. Come on.
Doesn't want to stick around, and indeed he doesn't. So Jerry Scott has done his job at lead for the Bruce Roberts rink. Bauer will be out to replace the guard, and Bernie changing sides here. No, he's going back out to that same spot.
Well, with Bauer, he'll throw the 2 rocks up on the right-hand side of the sheet, or the out turn. And then maybe the next time, when Cook is throwing, he might play the in-turn and go to the left-hand side of the sheet, just to mix up the shots for the Roberts man. The more he mixes it up, the better a chance Roberts has of hitting and sticking.
He changes by man. He doesn't confuse or make it difficult for the man who's throwing. At least Bauer has played the same shot twice.
That's exactly right, but see what he's doing now. Kleffman's going to shoot. He'll end up throwing maybe one out turn, and then Sparks will put it around the other side this next time, and Kleffman will end up playing an in turn. So they're just, mixing things up, hoping that he hits and sticks. Roberts is yelling, hurry. I don't know whether he's going to roll off to this one.
Well, he's got one over on that side, so there'll be no need for Bernie Sparks to have Cook draw one right in there. He may put another one down next to it, but Bruce has done part of the job for him on that hit by Kleffman.
It'll be interesting to see Bernie's call here. Will he throw up another corner guard, or will he have Cook go in? Just looking at the way Cook is holding that rock, I would think that he's going to play the in-turn draw around the corner guard, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Boy, and they got to go with it. It's starting to snap. This is a big shot for Sparks. If he gets this in there, he's got control of this hand. Oh, he's going to be light.
Pulling way over on the front. Does not hit it hard enough to bounce it onto the rings, but for Bernie at least, he has the consolation of having two guards out there now.
Well, the worst part of it all for Sparks is that both those rocks are together. And if he hits a little bit on the outside, he's going to make the double, and his shooter's going to roll off, and that'll be a wasted shot for Sparks. So here's what I was talking about, Don. One out turn, and now Kleffman's throwing the in-turn. Well, he's got a good-looking shot.
He took two of them out. Rolled over far enough himself. That is an excellent shot. He has virtually taken away all the front protection for Bernie Sparks with one rock.
Well, that's just an excellent shot by young Kleffman. Not only did he take the two front ones off, but look where that rock rolled. Bernie could possibly bury behind there, but he's going to have to be so exacting just to get around that one and catch a corner of the 12th one.
He's having Cook curl over in that direction.
Well, even if Cook stops short, it's not that bad a shot. Look at that rock start to snap. Oh, it's really starting to cut over there.
And it's getting tough. It's digging in. He'll be up near it. He will touch it and sit there. So he's got some extreme 12-foot protection on the corner, but that is about all. As Cook looks at it, wonders why he didn't get by.
Well, I don't think he's wondering so much why he didn't go by, is why it cut so much, because he was well out there. And that rock had to curl about 2.5, 3 feet once it got over the hog line.
That stayed. That's a break for Bernie.
Well, that's what Sparks has been waiting for. That rock is a little over more, maybe covering a portion of the 8-foot. And there's no question that Sparks will definitely draw around and try to get it just on the tee line behind those two on the right-hand side.
Look at the amount of ice he indicated there. Really swings with the out turn. Bert Gretzinger trying to draw behind.
Of course, the bad part about this, if you're a little bit heavy, the rock won't cut very much. You've got to have exacting weight. Boy, and they're really sweeping this one. Oh, now they let up a bit. Feel he's got enough weight.
Well, they want to let it go and let it curl. Now they bring it up to make sure he has the weight. He will not be covered, or will he? It's coming up, a little bit deeper, Don. He would have had just an excellent shot, but it's exposed where it stopped.
Oh, they should have never stopped sweeping with that one. They should have swept it all the way down. Even if they take it to the back 12-foot, they're in good shape. And here's a look at the two third men and their deliveries. You see, Gretzinger, I think, stays a little bit straighter. Joe was kind of tilted in the hack a bit. He's got a sideward motion. Look how they come out. Joe kind of jumps at it, and Gretzinger, good fluid delivery, but they both get right in behind the rock.
Joe hangs onto the rock a bit longer.
Just a bit longer because he gives it a little bit of push, where that bent elbow is.
All right, we'll see Joe now. Regular speed, galloping out of the hack as he is prone to do with a takeout attempt. Watch him, he really steps out there. Big long stride, the heel to the toe, and
he leaps out at it.
Good weight. He has got it. But he stays. Bernie could use that rock potentially. Doug is going to ask Joe more about his peculiar delivery.
Over the years of CBC Curling Classic, we've seen some very interesting deliveries, and I guess yours ranks in there too, Joe, with that left foot of yours. Are you conscious of the fact that the heel goes out and then the toe?
No, it really just gets to be, I guess I'm so used to doing it that doesn't bother me at all. It's just normal for me.
How did it get that way?
When I first started, I was young and I really wasn't that strong, and I used to try to slide as far as I could, and I used to push out hard on my left foot and step as far as I could with the other foot, and that's how I started reaching all the time, and that's how it started. And since then, I've kind of tamed it down a little, but I still have the foot the same way, I guess.
Well, like so many curlers, you hear them say it over and over again. Whatever they're doing now, they developed early for whatever reason in their career, and it's still with them.
That's exactly right, Don. You can just about perfect any type of delivery if you're willing to sacrifice a lot of time and a lot of curling to do it. In Joe's case, he really leaps out at that rock.
Bill Muirhead has changed his delivery. We'll be seeing Bill next week in our series. He's a changed curler from what he was 4 or 5 years ago. Right now, Bert Gretzinger with a crucial draw attempt. His second rock as third man for Bernie Sparks here in the 10th band. He wants to get around that white rock of Roberts in the 12 foot. The line looks very good, and they can pound it now and get it in behind. I guess, they left it just a bit too much, Don. Again, that constant sweeping might have taken it there.
Well, it looked like it was well by, and they picked up their brooms, and as soon as they picked it up, the rock started to dig in and curl, and by the time they got back to the rock to sweep it, it had already started to die, and it was too late. I really feel the last 2 rocks by Gretzinger, they've been misswept.
Sometimes that's all it takes between a great shot and a shot that comes up short of what you'd hope for.
Well, that's why the sweepers are so important. If they get that one buried, Roberts has really got a tough shot, but now he's just got a wide open hit.
He's got Bernie Stone, stops right there, but there's still some protection for Bernie Sparks. He can use those rocks. They're still far enough out in front in the 12 foot to utilize.
Well, that's quite a wall that Sparks has got out there, and you can see that he's taken just on the edge of the 4 foot, but she's taken about a good 4.5, 5 feet of ice.
This is Bernie's most crucial shot of this game so far. If he can sink one in here, it's going to be awfully tough for Bruce to prevent him from getting the 2 he needs for the win.
Well, if he gets it in there perfect, then the only thing Bruce Roberts has got to do is follow him down. And that's always dangerous. Look at that rock start to cut. Now they're starting to move it. It looks like he's got lots of weight. Gretzinger's concerned. He's got to get it by that guard.
And again, a little nudge will leave him in the open. He will float back into the 8 foot, back into the 12, but he doesn't get the protection he wanted.
Well, I'm afraid if Bernie hadn't hit that guard, he might have went right on through.
Well, that's true. It had a lot of weight. Even with the tick, it still came well deep into the 12 foot.
Well, that's the tendency you have when you miss-sweep 2 rocks, and then you have a tendency, to be maybe too careful and really sweep a rock all the way down. In that case, they really swept it, and it was just a little bit too strong.
Roberts can't afford to miss here. If he does, he give Bernie a chance to draw for 2 in the win. He's got to keep him down to 1 by killing this one.
Well, they're really working on it. He knows it cuts over there. Look at it. It's really moving over. He's going to get it.
Just needs to get a piece, and he did. He got half the rock and rolled out. He's got 2 on the rings, and Bernie Sparks is going to be drawing with his last rock for a tie. If he gets it, he will give up last rock in the 11th and extra end. 5-4 is the score. Sparks can tie it right now. A big pressure draw coming up for him for survival here in the CBC Curling Classic.
Well, I think, this end worked out very well for Bernie Sparks, but he just couldn't get the rocks in around those ones on the corner. He's been plagued not only by some hard luck, but just a little bit of misjudgment on the sweeper's part. Especially on arena ice, you've got to be so careful when sweeping. He's taking about the same ice, and they're really working on this one. He might have taken too much off. Oh, they haven't let up.
Now they do. It gets over to that keen center ice. Has to be up far enough. It is. It's all the way up into the 8 foot. A good clutch pressure draw by Bernie Sparks, which produces a 5-5 tie at the end of a regulation 10th end of play. The 11th end is coming up in just a moment. But first, here's Doug once again.
Back in Duluth, Minnesota, Bruce Roberts is a school teacher, and tell me, Professor, the theory of playing that last end when you haven't got last rock advantage and you're one up. Some people say come into the 4-foot and force the other side to hit. You obviously say go through the house. What's your theory?
Well, we feel that we have a strong enough hitting team so that, that we can play the rock through and play 7 takeouts, give the man one and play an extra end. If we put one on top of the 4-foot and he freezes, it makes it a much more difficult shot. So by running everything off and keeping it as open as we can, I think we're playing to our advantage.
Okay, the theory worked for you. Now you have got that that extra end coming up. You have got last rock advantage. We'll see what happens as we move into the extra end after this message.
CBC, Wednesday. The Spanish Civil War of 1936 is relived by Los Canadienses.
Death from the sky rains on Madrid. Rebel bombs from rebel planes.
Los Canadienses were members of Canada's Mackenzie Papineau Battalion who fought against Franco, and half of them died.
They helped to save Madrid, and they held it to the very end of the war. In the process, the international brigades became a legend, and volunteers were pouring in from all over Europe and North America.
I said, boy, I'd like to go.
And he told me to bring my suitcase, and I met him downtown, and he took me to the bus depot.
I think I got $5. Man, that was money.
We were a poor, raggle-taggle group.
We got on the Ile-de-France, seeing everywhere we went. The people were enthusiastic. We were coming to help them.
Watch Los Canadienses Wednesday night at 8.
Tuesday night, let Wolfman Jack play some good times and fine music on you. There's zany comedy, too, from the world's only joke-telling mule.
I turn out the light. You come crawling through my dream.
Great music, big laughs, and a whole lot of fun. See it all on the Wolfman Jack Show, Tuesday nights at 7:30.
All Souls and Mary Lou Finlay. Take 30. All Souls and Mary Lou Finlay make Take 30 prime time in the afternoon. Take 30, weekdays at 3 p.m. The right time for prime time.
On the CBC Curling Classic, we'll have Bill Muirhead of Scotland and Jimmy Ursel from Montreal, and a fine matchup, an international match for you on the CBC Curling Classic. And Bill Muirhead has hung in there longer than any Scottish rink in history in our series.
Of course, like you said, Bill Muirhead has changed his delivery, and I think he's curling much better.
He has. He's a competitor. He took Bruce Roberts right down to a final game, a final rock even, of the World Curling Championship. Right now, Bruce Roberts is more concerned with Bernie Sparks in the extra end. He's got last rock. 5-5 is the score. Kevin Bauer starting it off for Bernie Sparks' team.
You know, in that interview with Bruce Roberts, he said that he felt his team were strong enough that they could run 7 off, but I think Bruce might just reflect back and consider himself a little fortunate that end, because Sparks had the front build up there on the side, and if he had ever got one around there, Bruce could have been in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they did not run 7 rocks off. They left a wall that Bernie simply couldn't capitalize on.
That's right, and Bernie, unfortunately, just couldn't get around him. The opportunity was there, but he just didn't pounce on it.
This young man, Jerry Scott, coming up now, has had just an outstanding game today for the Bruce Roberts rink. He's kept things clean. He's opened it up. He's being asked to. Now look at this, 91%.
Oh, that's just flawless curling. You know, the other 9% might have been half shots. No, so he's curled near perfect game.
Or else the other 9% taken away by a harsh score.
Yes, that could be true.
We saw Joe Garoka of Ontario, representing Dixie and Mississauga, curl 100% in the prior one game last year.
That's phenomenal. You know, in all the years that I've curled, you very seldom hear of anybody curling 100%, especially at third and skip.
Kevin Bauer at 76. Did you ever get to 100?
Yeah, it took me 3 games, mind you, but I got to 100.
I made it in 5 games once.
I know, I've seen you curl, Fred.
Or was it 6?
Whereas Bernie Sparks here is going to try to clutter up that front and hope with his last rock that he's got some protection out in front that he can draw around.
Well, he's got 2 choices now.
Well, things are shaping up for Bernie this end. Bruce Roberts can't get both those rocks off, and as a last resort, Sparks will use that one either on the left or the right to draw around to get some protection.
Jerry Scott. Nice line. Nice firm weight. They want to keep it on the outside of the rock if they can with sweeping. They do. He's going to roll over, but he's still in play. In fact, nice combination of front stones there for Bernie Sparks now, right of center.
Would you give him 4 for that, Don, or 2?
No.
What would you give him?
I would give him nothing.
That's exactly right.
I'm getting better.
Yes, you are. You're coming along.
Alan Cook, 66% now. He coming in behind, or will they be content to leave another one out in front on the left of center?
Well, Bernie won't be too upset if he goes around those guards as long as he's buried. He doesn't want to leave him wide open.
Now he wants it out in front. They call off the sweeping. He lets it grind to a halt there, just in front of the house.
Of course, the good thing about that shot for Cook is now he's forcing Bruce Roberts to go out a little bit wider on the out turn. And this is good for Bruce Roberts because he can either hit it on the outside or the inside, and he's going to make a double kill somewhere.
Lefman has curled well today also, and he needs a big shot right here. Can't afford to punch it straight back and leave the others. He nicks another one and is going to pass it through, so he leaves Bernie just one guard. Lefman has done that now 2 or 3 times in this game.
Well, you have to give him full marks for that shot. He's taken off 2 guards and he's rolled his own shooter off. And I would think Bernie Sparks will drop another one out in front. See, the theory here is that he wants to keep Bruce Roberts always shooting at one guard. If he's got 2 guards up there and he's got Roberts shooting at just one guard, there's going to be 1 guard left for him to go around with his last rock. That's good position by Cook.
Remember, we have $2,000 at stake in this game. It all goes to the winner. The loser, if it's Sparks, will be out. If it's Bruce Roberts, well, he'll be in a playoff as the A-side winner. Our survivors right now in the series are Roberts, Sparks, Muirhead, and Jim Ursel. Out of the original field, we have 4 of these top world-class rinks left.
Gary Cleffman would like to hit about a half a rock here and drive it straight back and make the double. He's got good line.
However, he has left 2 very valuable rocks right down that center line for Bernie Sparks.
When was your last draw? I'm still about the same, I think.
Think I can still get away with throwing the same?
Yeah, I think so.
I'll try to avoid 2. Which way?
Let's go this way. A little straighter.
In way?
Yeah.
Okay.
You hear Sparks say, when was your last draw, Bert? Bert said the last end. He wants to make sure that Bert understands what draw weight is.
They're debating which way to go. Bert has made 3/4 of his shots today. This is a big one for the Bernie Sparks team. They have all the advantages now with those 2 rocks out in front without last rock in the extra end.
He's giving Bert an awful lot of ice. That rock will come across at the end, but just a fraction wide will run very, very straight. Now it's starting to move in. It's just a question of his weight. Well, it's going to hang in the open.
Well in the open. His weight wasn't bad. He's up near the 4-foot, but that extra ice did not allow that rock to come over.
Boy, he could have maybe given him 6 inches less. Of course, he doesn't want to rub those front ones. He want to make sure he gets by, but boy, he got by those guards by a good 1.5 feet.
Here's Joe curling 81%. If he gets a roll off this could backfire on Bernie Sparks. It'll be Roberts under cover. It's got to curl a little bit more for him to go inside, but no, he stays on the nose. So that gives Gretzinger a chance to roll off the stone now.
Well, it's a question of how Bernie wants to play with it. You know, there is a little bit of a port there. And I would think that maybe Sparks is just asking Gretzinger to come down with draw weight and hopefully get by the white one and the guards and get in the 4-foot area. If he just hits that one and sits right there, it's still wide open. And there's always a chance playing that draw that he could get a rub off that white one. Well, he's a long way out. Now it's starting to cut.
playing a bit over draw. He'll make contact. He'll roll over, and he will be on the 4-foot. The Roberts rock, though, is not removed. It's still there. And Gretzinger's stone is open from the outturned side to Roberts.
Well, the good thing about that shot for Sparks is that he's changing Joe Roberts' shot. He's going to the outturn. Just looking at the ice that Bruce is giving, runs very straight down there. I don't think Joe will overflow this one. He'll just be nice, carrying weight. Well, he's a long way out there. Now it's starting to cut. Oh, look at it snap over.
He's by. He's got it. He's going to roll over toward his own and just bump it out and sit there with shot. That cut sharply the final few feet. Bill Muirhead having a look at this game with his team. He's getting ready to play Jimmy Ursel next week in our series.
You see Joe Roberts, this rock really took off. And he stayed with it all the way, and he hits about a quarter of a rock and rolls away over to the back of that 12-foot and pushes out the other one at the back. And that rock at the back could be a saver for Bruce Roberts.
Long double there. One of Bernie's, one of his own. Bernie's having a good day. 81% is his score right now as he plays these two crucial shots in the 11th and extra end in a 5-5 tie with Roberts.
He's narrowed up the ice about 8 inches from Gretzinger's rock. So he's going to try to completely bury this one. That rock will really start to cut at the end. They got to stay on it. See Gretzinger yelling, come on, come on, come on. Oh, he's got a good-looking shot if he stops.
Looks a little bit warm. Starts to dig in now. Comes back of the tee line, and it'll stay in the 4-foot. Bernie's made an excellent first shot. However, it curled so much that it's exposed over on the other side to Roberts.
That's just an indication of how much it does curl, because he got by that guard by a good 3 inches, and it came out the other side. Fortunately for Bruce Roberts.
It swings in here, even with the takeout weight, so Roberts has to be careful.
Well, they're going to have to go on this one. Oh, they're really sweeping it. He's got a good-looking shot. Oh, he gets by the guard.
Not the second guard, though. He wrecked on it. Joe almost wrecked a few moments ago, and now Bruce has out in front, and he's left Bernie with the shot rock. Close to getting by, but they were on it halfway down.
Well, that was the danger. He had to play it quiet. He didn't want to overthrow it because he thought it would stay straight. But he gets by the first one all right. He gets by just barely, but the rock just does a little bit of curling, and he just has hard luck and rubs the second one.
Now it's up to Bernie Sparks.
Of course, Bernie's got 2 chances, and it looks like he's going to play the outturn. But if he's going to play it, he wants to get it in this area here, full in the 4-foot. Or he could play the in-turn down here and get in the 4-foot area. The key is that he should get into that 4-foot area. He doesn't want to leave it too far out. And the only reason I'm questioning this outturn shot is the fact that Bernie has just drawn with the in-turn with his first one. He knows the ice. He knows his weight. Now he's going to the outturn side where it might be a little bit heavier. You know, and there's lots of room with that in-turn to get in there.
Well, if he can just put it out in front somewhere, it'll close off access to the shot rock, and he'll force Roberts to curl. He's a long way out. And they start to jump on it now. Bauer and Cook are pounding away. Bernie's rock is digging in near the hog line, and oh, he has hogged it. He's left the shot rock wide open. That might have cost him $2,000 right there.
Well, I don't like to criticize anybody's decision because he's throwing the last rock, but I still feel that by going by the in-turn, he knew the ice, he knew the weight. You know, look where he had the broom. He's on the edge of the 12th. Now, that rock might have picked up something, but he leaves a wide-open shot for Bruce Roberts. Of course, he's got to be very careful.
Well, he missed the shot the first time. He can adjust now. If he can get by that white rock, it should curl enough.
Oh, he's well
hanging out there, though.
He's got a long way to come. Now it's starting to come across.
Cutting now, Joe says beautiful. It is indeed. 2 for Bruce Roberts. Bernie gave him the opening, and Roberts capitalized on it to use last rock and win this game, getting 2 on the extra end. So Bernie Sparks is out. Bruce Roberts just keeps on winning by a score of 7-5 today. It seems there's no stopping this man.
Well, I think Bernie had a little hard luck, and maybe he might have called the wrong shot. He was curling 80%, then to finish up the game by hogging it, it's really hard luck.
That win is worth $2,000 to the Bruce Roberts rink, and of course there'll be the All-Star Award of $100 too. We'll have Doug Maxwell with all the prize money right after this pause.
We know inflation today is making it hard to make ends meet because we are a consumer finance company. But in 4 short years, we have become one of the largest consumer finance companies in Canada, all because of how we treat people. So if lending you money to pay your bills and turn them into one manageable monthly payment will help, call us. You're number one at AVCO.
Hello, I'm Ken Smatello, inviting you on behalf of Eric Wilde and the Hymn Sing Chorus and Orchestra to be with us Sundays for Hymn Sing. Each week we try to include as many request hymns as possible, and we also like to introduce you to new sacred songs. We think you'll enjoy our program. Join us for our 12th season of Hymn Sing, Sundays on CBC Television.
Don't miss Hymn Sing, Sunday at 5.
CBC for the best in sports. And you'll see the best right here, no matter what the season. You'll get the comments, the highlights, the replays, all the action here on CBC. Be sure to watch.
So the winner in an extra end of play, the World Championship rink from Hibbing, Minnesota, skipped by Bruce Roberts. And that really was quite a skips game, Doogie.
It was. There were some exceptional shots made. The pressure was bouncing back and forth between Bruce and Bernie, and it was just an exceptionally well-curled game.
Well, we had to make a choice as to the outstanding player. Bruce was that choice. Tell us a little bit about that, how you made your choice.
Well, Doug, when it gets down to that close and one rock can mean such a big difference, you have to go with the skip that has to throw the last rock to win the money, and that's why we picked Bruce.
And he has won the money, so you better hand it over to him and don't hang on to it too long there. $100 goes over to Bruce Roberts, and of course the check for $2,000 that represents the winnings on this B-side game. We'll be back next week with more of the same kind of action. Hope you'll be with us at the same time. Doug Maxwell for Don Chevrier and Don Duguid. Until next week then, so long.
Tonight on CBC, it's Hockey Night in Canada, with 3 action-packed games on tap. Most fans will see the Philadelphia Flyers and the Montreal Canadiens at the Forum, while viewers in southern Ontario will see the Leafs and the Pittsburgh Penguins take to the ice at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. And on the West Coast, it's the Canucks and the Atlanta Flames. Check local listings for games and times in your area for Hockey Night in Canada tonight on CBC. And tomorrow night, it's a super special hour of easy listening music when balladeer Roger Whittaker is your host and star for Super Special. Tomorrow night at 8:30 in Newfoundland.
This is CBC.
Music of Anthony Newley.